everybody, welcome back. So this video I'm going to be giving you a little bump date. You get it? Instead of update, it's bump date. Oh, totally snacking on some Tootsie Rolls. Like chewy candies and things like that have been one of my go-tos lately. So up on there on our little bar thing, actually right there, bing. We have a little candy dish and it has like Tootsie Rolls and Starburst and like the Tootsie Roll sucker thingies. So yeah, as I walk by every time, I'm just like, bloop, you are coming with me, my little friend. Anyway, complete side story. I am 28 weeks now, which means that I am officially 7 months and, drumroll, let me put that down before I do things. I am in my 3rd trimester! So that kind of is a really big wake-up call for me. Kind of just been like cruising through this pregnancy like, oh yeah, it's fine, whatever. I'm this or I'm that, or oh, I'm only this amount of weeks. And then boom, when I looked it up, I was like, holy snap. I'm in my 3rd trimester. That means it's the last leg of the race and the babies are about to come in so many weeks. I'm just like, oh snap, we need to get life together. So yeah, that's a really big thing for me. And I actually have my calendar. I use a desk calendar rather than one of the hanging ones, and I just hang my desk calendar to write down like all of the appointments for me, for Devin, for whenever our bills are due. Like everything in life goes on this calendar. And I've started writing every Sunday what week I will be that week. And when I ripped off for August and I was going through, I'm like, oh yeah, da-da-da. I'm like, 28 weeks means 3rd trimester. So that was a reality check for me. Now I'm kind of like in go mode, like, okay, what do we need to get done before the twins get here? So just been going through that little culture shock lately. But yeah, so whoop whoop, excited. 3rd trimester, last leg. I'm excited to meet them and to see them, but I'm also kind of hoping and praying, like crossing my fingers, that they will be about 5 to 6 pounds when they're born. At this point, they are about 2 pounds each. I found that out from my doctor, my last appointment, which was, oh, let me glance. I was writing on it earlier today, like writing out our schedules and stuff of what's happening, so it's already on there. My last appointment was Friday, September 1st. So that's when I got to see them last, and that's when she told me they're about 2 pounds. They're doing really great on the growth chart. They're actually right in the middle. She showed me the exponential thing. They're not too low and they're not too high. They're literally like, it's the perfect line in the middle. So that's great. That means that they're where they're supposed to be. They are pretty long. I don't exactly remember what the measurement said, but I did look it up on a, excuse me. We're gonna pretend that that never happened. Growth chart saying, like, in general, they're about, like, babies at this stage are, like, 12 to 14 inches each. I don't actually know. I'd have to wait till my next doctor's appointment to actually find out. So, when I go, which will be the 22nd, so that's not this Friday, but next Friday, I'll be able to give you an update on all of the twin stats and see how they're doing. Oh, okay, hi. And see how they're doing. They are moving around so much. And what I was telling my husband before, which is different with this pregnancy than it was with our daughter, is that I felt all the movement like out here, like in the belly that's pointing out like for the world to see and feel. Like that's where I would feel most of her movement. And it's cool, I actually have old videos of like where she would create like a wave going like wherever she was, like moving and that was really cool. With these two, I feel movement in different places. Not only am I feeling it on the outside, so basically I feel it all the way from up here, well, I guess like the bottom of my rib cage. So yeah, like right about here, all the way down here to where it's like almost in the woman parts. But I'm also feeling it further back, like internally, to where it's like, okay, I'll be sitting down and I'll feel one moving up here, which is Levi. He's the one that's on top. I'll explain how I know that in a minute. And then I feel it further. Ooh, let me show you. I'll feel it further inward, like in my body, or like further down, like to where it be towards where my cervix is. And that's a sensation that I had never felt before. I was like, whoa, this is really weird. Like, okay. I mean, obviously it's normal since there's two of them. They're taking up so much more room than a singleton baby would. FYI, I didn't know that that was a term. But singleton is what you call someone who is pregnant with only one baby as opposed to multiples. So that's a thing that I'm finding out about. I'm like, all right, look at me becoming twin mom lingo. Snaps. Anyways, so that's been something that's really interesting, and it's a new sensation that I'm still not quite used to yet, because I will feel them like in my pelvis, which I didn't really feel before. I will feel them more internally, and then of course I'm used to the movements up here, so that's interesting. Back to what I was saying. So I know that Levi is the one that's on top, who's basically all over and out here. I know that he is twin B, and the lower one down here is Micah, who is twin A. The reason why I will always know who is who is basically that Micah is the one that's closest to my cervix. He's going to be born first, so he's the one that's on the bottom, and Levi is the one that's on top. Now, no matter what positions they move in, because they've both been breech before, they've been on top of each other like this. I've had it to where Micah was across and then Levi was diagonal like this. They move all over the place. But he will always be the one that's lower, and he is actually the most active out of the two of them, which coincidentally is normally the reverse. Normally the one that's on top is the one that's more active, but he's the one that is down here. He actually fights the ultrasound machine whenever we go to the doctor's office. You can see him like pushing his arm and pushing his legs, like pushing it like, get off of me, you lady. So he is the feisty one, and he will be born first. So he's twin A, and twin B, that's Levi. He's the one that's up here, and he's like super chill. Whenever they're doing ultrasounds and looking at him, he's kind of just like, what's up? I'm right here. And he lets them do whatever they want to. So it's really cute, and I think it's funny that I can see that part of their personalities already, and they're not even here yet. So that's pretty awesome. I'm excited about that. So that's a little bit of tidbit information in what I've been feeling going on. Another thing that I've been having a lot that I haven't had for the beginning part of my pregnancy, I was trying to think of how to say that, but yeah, is that I'm getting a lot more heartburn at night, and I'm starting to get it in the day too. What my doctor is telling me is that since twins, they're taking up so much more room. I mean, obviously there's two of them. So one of the side effects is that they get bigger, so I'm getting bigger, but they're also pushing my organs in even more as they're making room for themselves. So it's like excuse me. It's simultaneous action of how they're growing outward, but I'm also preparing by my organs moving inward. So depending on what direction they move and what position they may be in at that time, it'll push on your stomach, and that actually will push the acid up. So I may not have even eaten anything that was very acidic or that could have triggered it, but the fact of whatever position they're in, that's giving me heartburn. That's pushing the stomach acid up my esophagus to where I'm feeling it. And one thing she told me that works for that, and I found that works, is being more of an angle. Now, instead of for me being like, I guess 45 degree, which is something like this, and then the bed being here, I've tried that. I've done it a few nights. I mean, it does work, but eventually I feel really stiff, and my back ends up hurting a little bit, like, because I'm not used to that. I'm a side sleeper. So what I find that works for me better than being on a 45 degree angle is that I will put my pillows to where, let's say this is the head of my bed. I will have 2 pillows here where my head would be, and then 1 pillow like right at the base of it. So it creates more of a steady angle to where it's not as sharp. It's more like this. And it's to where I'm elevated, so the acid isn't coming all the way up and really giving me bad heartburn at night, but it's making me more comfortable. I can sleep on my sides or on my back to where I'm not stiff, I'm not sore, it doesn't bother me, and it cures my heartburn. So whoop whoop. That was a little bit of a trial and error thing, because my husband wants me to be like this angle and then have my feet elevated and all this kind of stuff, and he is really good at taking care of me, I'm not gonna lie. Especially because sometimes I really do have some issues or whatever, and he is so accommodating, he's so sweet, but he's also like, can really stop complaining, I'm telling you that you need to do this. I'm like, no, I know what you're doing, but you're not always right. So that's where we found our compromise of how I'm listening to him because I am doing the angle, but it's more comfortable for me to where I'm not in pain. So that's been really awesome. As far as energy goes, I can only do so much, to where what I mean by that is that I went to a Saints game. It was the last preseason game, and I was good when my sister and my brother-in-law dropped us off, and we walked a little bit, and then we walked up to our seats, which was all the way at the top because we got free tickets, which was awesome. And then we went down to where they were, which was pretty low. It was like almost ground level. So all of that up and down the stairs and walking, like, that really wore me out. But then we walked to go park rather than them coming to pick us up. And I was so sore. I was exhausted. Like, I felt everything taken out of me. I'm like, I can't do things like this anymore. So too much physical activity like that, I'm realizing that I can't do anymore. Like, we took Devin to go to the aquarium. That wasn't really bad because they dropped me off to where I could go. They went and parked, so I just waited for them. And then throughout the aquarium, there were benches in different places. So if I needed to, I could go sit, take a rest, and then when they were done looking at whatever exhibit, we would go and continue. So that was fine, as long as I have my resting periods in between. But as far as like go, go, go like I used to be, I can't do that anymore. So I'm finally starting to realize and learn my limitations as far as this pregnancy and what I can handle, and as far as what doesn't upset them. Because if it's upsetting me and I'm feeling it, I know that they are too. So that's been also my other biggest learning lesson as of right now. But yeah, so I'm thinking that that's pretty much it. I do have some cute little stuff that my families have already gotten for me for the twins. So if y'all want to see that and the things that we've gotten them, just go ahead and let me know in comment section, because I'm figuring out this journey just as I go along with y'all. So hopefully we can get some really good stuff going. So I will have another video coming out soon, probably later this week or early next week, about my 3-hour diabetes test. So that was an interesting experience. So I will have that coming up for y'all. All right. So until then, have a great day. Bye.